Hello, everybody. My name is Edward S. Redcar, and I'm the host of Edward S. Redcar's Entertainer Chat. And today I have the extreme pleasure of interviewing Pilar Uribe. Am I pronouncing that right, Pilar?
Very well. Yeah.
Thank
Very
you.
good.
Thank you very much. Those Spanish lessons paid off. But let me tell everybody a little bit about Pilar. She's a bilingual on-camera actor. She's also a voiceover actor, and she plays the role as Fran Volpe in Law and Order SVU with Mariska Hargitay. That was last year. And she also has played the role of Maria Beatriz Valencia on the Betty LaFay novella, a Colombian novella, last filmed in 2024. And I did not know this, but it has the Guinness World Record for being the most successful telenovela in history. That's quite an accomplishment, and very, very impressive. I'll say, Pilar, welcome to the show, and how are you doing today?
I'm good, Ed. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, thank you. And one thing that I did forget to mention to everybody out there in Zoom land is that Pilar and I have worked together virtually online as part of the weekly lab sessions of Tiger's Heart Players with artistic director Wayne Paul Mattingly and the executive director Aliona Garcia. And that's where we first met, if you want to say met, virtually. And uh, last summer, I was on a trip to California, and we actually met for the first time in California and had a little coffee there and got to know you. And that's when I asked you to be on my show, right, Pilar?
Yes, that's right.
It- So that was a really nice meeting, and I was glad to meet you in person. Very nice meeting it was too. The first meeting. Um, yeah. I'll ask you this first question, which I tailor it to each guest that I have, whether they're, actor, musician, whatever in the entertainment industry. I'd like to know how they got to where they are today. What was like the spark that like started everything? So I'll ask you, how did you become interested in acting and also voiceover acting?
How much time do you have?
Well, we can take this hour, and then it can be like a 6 hour
Oh
novella, right?
my
A
God.
6 hour or
Short documentary.
telenovela.
I love it. Well, I actually started in school, in grade school. I think my first foray into the acting world was playing an angel on stage. Maybe I want to say first grade. So that was my very first time being on stage. I used to play the violin when I was
Oh, okay.
a kid, and I so we had to get up and perform. And my sister and I used to sing together when we were little in harmony, a cappella. And then
Okay.
later, my sister learned how to play the guitar. So we that whole performance vibe was something that was a part of me because my father and mother they would invite friends over for lunch, and then they would say, "Why don't the Uribe girls sing for us now?" And we would be like, "Oh, gosh, no, not again." And we would do it.
Okay. Okay.
So I have to say I owe um, my performance career in part to my parents who started it off.
Okay. Okay.
Uh, I did plays in high school. I majored in theater. I
Okay.
When I really fell in love with it was I auditioned for the part of Festi in Twelfth Night.
Okay. Okay.
And so I got to play a clown for 2.5 hours on stage, and that was so much fun. So I got involved in the world of commedia dell'arte,
Okay. Okay.
pranks falling down,
Oh, yes. Yeah. I
and
love comedy too. Absolutely
it
love
was
comedy.
it was so much fun. And then the following year, I played a um, Hecuba in Women of Troy. So I was playing a 70-year-old grandmother.
Okay.
Very tragic and very intense. And I became very involved. I would say now that that was, I got involved in method acting.
Ah, okay. Okay.
So I would cry in the afternoons, I remember, in my dorm room. And I had great roles that I played in college. Prime of Miss Jean Brodie, uh,
Okay.
Titania in Midsummer Night's Dream.
Hmm. Hmm.
And so that when I graduated from college, I thought, oh, I want to do this for a living. So I come back to New York, which is where I grew up, and I realized, oh, it's a lot harder than I thought. So I started taking acting classes and I got a 9 to 5 job.
Hmm. Hmm.
And the 9 to 5 job basically took over.
It does. It does.
Because you've got a world, you've got your job, it's 9 to 5, it's all
Hmm. Hmm.
um, regimented, and Paco agrees.
We'll get to Paco
We'll
later,
get to
but
Paco in a minute. Yes,
yeah,
we
yeah. Behave
um,
yourself, Paco.
exactly.
You're
Uh,
live on TV here or whatever. Okay.
and so so I just kept taking acting classes, even though
Okay.
I was really focused on something else. And then I got married, and then I started pursuing acting in earnest. So I
Uh-huh.
got my
Uh-huh.
resume, my headshots ready. I started auditioning, and got I did a lot of extra work uh, on soaps, actually.
Okay.
And there was one time I got an under 5, which I was so excited because they put me in the makeup chair. I got my own
Oh,
costume. I
yes.
didn't have to bring
Yeah,
clothes.
living in style, right?
I
Yeah.
just thought I was the cat's meow. I did surgery and surgery nurse, and I just thought, this is it. I've hit the big time.
Yeah, right.
Well, they cut my line and they put a mask over my head, over my.
Oh no.
So I that was that was my entrance into that.
So
Uh,
everybody knew you from here up, but not.
exactly,
Oh my
exactly.
gosh. Oh geez.
Um, but I did a lot of extra work on One Life to Live, and
Oh, okay,
there
okay,
was one gentleman who I can't remember his name. I have it written down. He was a well-known regular contract player.
okay.
I remember he spoke to us one day, and he was so kind. He spoke to all the extras, and he was so encouraging, and that really affected me. And I thought, I want to be like that.
Uh-huh.
I want to be supportive like that, and I want to be a contract player. So I was married. I got divorced
Mhm.
and I decided to go to Colombia for
Oh,
a few weeks, where my parent family is from. They're from Colombia. And
okay,
so
okay.
I was going through the divorce. I was really sad. And my cousin said, let's go to a fortune teller. I was like, okay, why not? And we went to a fortune teller and asked me to smoke a cigarette.
Uh-huh.
And she read my cigarette from the ashes that I had from smoking the cigarette. She took the cigarette and she looked at the cigarette.
Oh
Okay.
wow.
And at the time, I had just resigned from, I was working an assistant at Morgan Stanley.
Okay,
And
okay,
because after Harper's Bazaar, I actually worked for Nine West, the shoe company.
okay, okay,
And then I worked at Morgan Stanley as an assistant.
okay.
And so she I had just resigned. I was really sad, and I didn't want to. I wanted just a fresh start, but I was
Hmm.
in
Hmm.
Columbia,
Hmm.
and so she reads my cigarette, and she said, "You better get ready, pack your bags, because you're going to be really famous
Whoa.
overnight."
Whoa.
And so I thought to myself, and I was like scrambling. because I was like, what is she talking about? And I thought, okay, I don't work at Harper's Bazaar. Maybe it's in shoe designing. And I was like, I was never a shoe designer. I was always doing other stuff.
Right, right,
And I was like, it can't be Morgan Stanley because forget that. I mean, I'm totally not that, you know.
right.
And I was trying to think about all my past jobs and why she would say that. So we walked out of there, my cousin and I, we just laughed. We thought this woman is crazy.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
And so 3 weeks in Colombia turned into 3 months.
Wow.
And I started thinking, oh, I wonder what it would be like if I came and lived down here because I've never lived there. I'm
Uh-huh,
born and raised in New York.
uh-huh, uh-huh.
And but I always wanted to live where, see what it was like how where my parents lived.
Right, right. Were there any times like before that where, say, you would go down there maybe for like a visit, like a small holiday to get
Every
away?
year, every year
Oh,
we
okay,
went to
okay, okay.
Colombia for Christmas. Every year. And
Oh, okay. That's nice. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
my parents' hometown was it's called Ibagué. And
Okay,
um,
okay,
and so we would always visit my uncle and my aunts and my
okay,
grandparents.
okay.
But I started to think, what would that be like? And then it occurred to me, I wonder if I could make a living working in television here.
Ooh,
So I came back to New York. I got the little the little work that I had done. I had footage of certain things that I'd done. So I turned it into a demo and I sent it back. I sent it back down to Columbia and I said I'd
okay,
audition and to a couple different places. And this one place said, yes, we're interested. So July 19th, I packed my bags and this was 1994.
okay,
And
okay,
I just went. And I called the producer. I got there on a Friday, called the producer on Monday, said I'm ready. And so she said, yeah, come on in.
uh-huh,
And I walked into her office and she said, okay, the show that we had considered you for, we're not doing it anymore.
oh, wow,
And it was on because back then everything was printed, and so it was there. It was there on a
yeah.
shelf on her in her office, and she said, "We're not doing that show anymore."
So no communication in real time, right? It was always
No,
delayed
no,
by,
yeah.
yeah, yeah,
So then
paper
she said,
trail, yeah,
because
yeah,
this is before, cell phones actually cell phones did exist, but it was definitely not, the internet was not as sophisticated. And so
yeah, yeah.
she said, we're doing a new show, but you're going to have to audition for it and you're going to have to wait because the scriptwriter is writing it right now. So I thought,
Okay,
okay. Luckily, I was staying with a very kind lady who
okay,
who was putting me up. So I thought, okay, I had read a book called The Celestine Prophecy, and that really did a number on me because it was what they would call back then woo woo, but now it's just basically steps to manifestation.
okay, okay.
And so I decided to follow that, and I thought, okay, I'm here. I need a job. I need
Hmm.
a car. I need an apartment.
Everything. You need everything.
So I'm
Yeah.
going to start looking for it. I'm going to start
Okay,
doing work.
okay,
So I started walking around and looking at signs because that's how they do it in Bogota, which is the capital.
okay, okay.
Started looking at signs, I would walk around neighborhoods that I wanted to live in. And I would write down the phone number, and I would
Uh-huh,
call, and I
uh-huh,
would look at
uh-huh.
apartments. And then I would go to car dealerships, and I looked at all the car
Uh-huh,
dealerships and
uh-huh,
looked and saw, what was in my budget, what I could afford, and I did that. And meanwhile, the producer would call me. I would call her, actually.
uh-huh.
I would call her once a week and I would say, hi, Amparo, how are you? How's it going? And she said, Pilar, I have nothing for you.
Oh,
And she knew exactly why I was calling.
yeah, right, right, right.
And so,
Yeah,
uh,
but it never hurts to try, right? You
yeah,
just keep,
exactly. I
right,
would call,
right.
and she always said, you can call me. She was very open about that. And we would have
Uh-huh,
a conversation. She said, I have nothing for you. Then she called me and she called me. She said, I have an audition for you. So I got all gussied up. I went
okay,
to the audition and I got it. And it was for a children's show, a weekly
okay,
show. And I thought, oh my God, I can't live on a weekly show. I can't live on a series. A telenovela here in Colombia is every day.
Oh my gosh.
I need a salary.
Yes, yes.
But I did it anyway. And
Okay.
uh, back then in the States, it's much more open now. But in New York, if you did a show for any extended period of time, then you couldn't really appear for a while in any other show. You had to
Oh,
take
okay.
um, uh, at least that was the current trend.
Mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm.
asked the director that day, I said, in Colombia, and I said, does this preclude me from the show that they're writing and that they're starting to cast? And she said, oh, no, no, no. One has nothing to do with the other. So I was like, great. I did my episode, done.
Okay.
Then a month later, she called me again and she said, now we want to audition you. So I auditioned, and in the States, you come in with your back then you come in with your script and you've got it memorized and you have it. You've
Mm-hmm.
learned it, but you come in
Mm-hmm.
with the script. Well, they gave us a script right then and there, and I was looking at it and I was like, "Oh, great! This is fine." And my scene partner, said, "Oh, you have it memorized." And I said, "Oh, no, I thought you just come in with the script." She said, "No, you have to memorize it, a page in
Oh,
20 minutes."
ouch.
And I was freaking out, and I thought, "Okay." So
Oh,
he helped me memorize that thing.
okay.
And I got a call back and I met with the director and they gave me the part.
Great.
One of the people in charge called me and said, "Okay, I'm really sorry to do this to you, but you're going to be a mean character. You're going to be really mean, and we're going to make you really ugly because she's a really evil character." And I was like, "Have at it.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, mold me the way you want to, right?
do what you want." And
Right, right.
that's how my career in Colombia started.
Okay,
So I
okay.
did this show called Eternamente Manuela.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
And shows typically last 9 months to a year. They don't last. They're not like they're just run differently because they do now it's a little bit different, but they're not during the day. They're primetime shows. Telenovelas are shown at night. Back
Okay,
then. Now they're shown
okay.
all, whenever. Now they're shown during the day or whatever, but those shows typically were shown at night.
Uh-huh,
So
uh-huh.
um, we were working, you know, 14, 15-hour days because we had to come out with a half hour
Right.
show on a daily
Yeah,
basis.
that's a long hours.
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
was a dramatization, and
Mm-hmm,
then we
mm-hmm.
were, shot on location. So
Uh-huh.
we worked long hours. And then from there I did another show, and then I did another show. And then I did Betty La Fea.
Uh-huh,
And
uh-huh.
and I played all different types of characters, but that character she was really evil.
Okay, okay.
So once the show came out, people would ask me, they would stop me on the street and they would say, Pilar, why are you so mean? So
It's my
mean.
job, right?
Yeah, yeah, the name of the show was Eternamente Manuela, eternally Manuela, and they would be like,
Okay,
"Why are you
okay.
so mean to Manuela?" And then they would say to me, conversely, "Oh my gosh, you're so nice." I was like, "Yeah, I'm playing a character."
Yeah, yeah,
But
right,
they really
right.
believed it. Colombians, when they see these shows, they really believe and they're passionate.
Oh, okay. They really get into they think that you're really who you're playing, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Exactly. So, yeah, I played all kinds. I played this evil doctor with a French accent in Spanish. She was so much fun. Oh my gosh. Uh,
Sometimes it's fun to play a bad character, right?
oh,
Totally
it is.
opposite, right?
Yeah.
You
Oh,
could
it
just let
is.
it, you could just let it fly, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did play I did play some nice characters. I played this one character who was American.
Hmm.
So she talked with an accent in Spanish.
Okay, okay.
Hablaba con un acento, así. And she wore blue nail polish, and I was blonde.
Oh boy.
So much fun to play. And so once in a while, like I would ad lib and I would start singing in English, and I would start
Oh, okay,
show
okay.
tunes in English because just to, getting down the stairs and it's just me and
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
it's me by myself and I thought, let me just sing this. So they loved it when I would sing in English.
So um, you were mentioning about Betty LaFay there.
Yeah.
So that kind of intrigued me. Like when we first came into the show, I read that it's in the Guinness World Book of World Records. So with that novella, let's see if I'm pronouncing it right. It's called let's see, Yo soy Betty la Fea, which means I am Betty the ugly one,
Yeah.
right? Like that.
Yes.
So, can you describe like what the original Betty LaFay series was, and then what Betty LaFay the story continues, in which you had a part, what they're both about, and like your role as Maria Beatriz Valencia in the sequel, and if there's any plans for another sequel for that series?
Well, Betty La Fea was originally, it was one of those things we had no idea what
Okay.
we were getting into. It was just a bunch of people in an office.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
It's about a woman who is traditionally not super attractive. But again, she's so endearing. I can't say that she's unattractive.
Okay.
It's all the perception, and a lot of it has to do with male perception, how men perceive women.
Hmm. Hmm.
And so she is the administrative assistant to the head of this fashion company, and she is really intelligent, and she basically turns the company around.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
and no, and all the pretty women um, do not like her. Uh,
Okay.
Pretty
Okay.
women in the show do not like her, but the other secretaries, they call them el cuartel de las feas, the quartel, the oh, how do you say cuartel? The stable of ugly girls, which is just
Oh,
so nasty when you think about it,
right. It
because
is.
all these women they just they made them as unattractive as
Oh
possible.
my God.
Um, uh, and so basically they get their comeuppance because she proves to be um, a valuable asset to the
Okay.
company.
And
And
probably
she,
the pretty girls are really jealous of her for being that valuable, right? That smart. That's probably
exactly.
part
They
of
don't,
it, right? Yeah.
yes, exactly. And so she falls in love with the head of the company. She eventually
Okay.
meets him. And the lead was actually, she's a gorgeous woman.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
So they made her ugly. And they put teeth on her,
Oh
these
no.
ugly teeth. They makeup. They put her hair. She had really long hair. They put her hair all the way over her head, so
Oh
she would
my God.
have bangs, and she would. It was just so funny the way she spoke. I mean, she was such a great actress. She is
Uh-huh.
such a great actress, and she won all these awards for it.
Hmm.
Um, and I played. So there's Betty. There's Armando, who is the guy that she falls in love with, the head of the company.
Okay. Okay.
There is his fiance, Marcela,
Okay.
and Marcela and Maria Beatriz, which is my character, and I can't remember his name his name that Mendoza, Daniel. I think that
Uh-huh.
that the three of us, we have a stake in the company. So I play this really, really ditzy woman who the only thing she's interested is her monthly check, her chequecito mensual.
Okay.
She wants her monthly check from the company.
Uh-huh.
So she's interested in it being successful.
Okay. Okay.
And so she just comes in. She comes in late. She's always getting plastic surgery done. She gets her ears done. She gets her boobs done. So I had at the very first episode, I had all this foam. I was wearing like size 12, size 14 dress, and And then they foamed me up, they patted me.
Oh, okay, okay.
And so then I would, I would go to Brazil, get surgery, and then I would come back, and voila, I had this hourglass figure, and the whole thing. I mean, it was so hysterical.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So
That must have been an awesome character to play because it was always changing, right? It was something like different all the time, right?
I
Never a
had the
dull moment, right?
I had the best wardrobe. Oh my gosh, I wish I could have kept some of that stuff. It's so great. I look at those shots, and it's really cute because the fans, they take pictures and they send me like a reel of all the outfits, and I go, "Oh my gosh, that was so cute. I wish I could
Oh
have
my
kept that."
God.
So awesome. Uh, yeah, like there was this one outfit that I wore because she just wore crazy stuff.
Okay.
So this amazing designer named, I think her name was Sonia Cabrera. She constructed this chain mail. It was basically silver, and it was like chain mail.
Uh-huh.
Uh, uh, one one shouldered top for me. So underneath, of course, I had to wear something because it was, it was metal.
Yes, yeah.
And so they constructed a little just a crop top, so we could lay on it. And this was for a party, and so I thought this is such a cool outfit.
Right.
I need something really cool. So it came to me that I got a henna tattoo going
Oh, okay.
from my hands. I got hennaed from my hands all the way up to my shoulder
Oh, wow. So
and
you
all the way down my.
so you had like a whole sleeve, right? What they
I
call a
had a
sleeve?
whole sleeve. It was the
Whoa.
coolest thing. And henna fades away in 3 days.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then I came in to the makeup artist and I said, can you do like little these I think there's some Star Wars character that they have that. Oh, now the camera's adjusting.
Oh,
Um,
okay. That's
they have
okay. That's okay.
like little tubes. If you like, you can't really
Oh,
see it, but they have like little tubes, like
okay.
Shrek. Like Shrek has those little kind of.
Yes, yeah, sticking out of his, yeah.
So
Okay.
I had those all over my head, like little tubular structures all over my head from my hair.
Oh,
It was so cool. I looked completely out of this world. It was so
right,
hysterical.
right. So when
And
you,
that, yeah,
oh,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, so like, say like when you were on the street, walking on the street, playing a character that was like so different and you were always changing, was it like when you were walking on the street, nobody knew or nobody recognized you as Pilar because you weren't in that getup or?
No, though they always recognize you.
Oh, okay,
Oh
okay.
yeah, no. I mean, I looked like myself, so no, they always.
Oh, okay, okay, okay,
Yeah, no. But it
okay,
was just fun to play. I will say that I auditioned one time for a man, a woman who plays a man who hides, sort of like,
oh,
Rosalind and As You Like It. It's that idea.
okay,
Um, and I got myself a wig and I taped myself down and I wore a man's shirt and baggy pants because I wanted to feel what it was like to be a
okay.
man walking down the street. And it was really interesting because I got very different looks. Nobody recognized me. And I actually got a woman who started flirting with me. And
Really?
I was like, oh wow,
Whoa.
this is the power of when you're really involved in the character.
Yes. I was going to say, I was going to say you're very talented because you created yourself to be a good-looking man, right?
I don't know if I was good looking, but I did not look like a girl.
Well,
It was
good-looking
really
enough
interesting.
to be have a woman,
Yeah,
attracted to you, you know?
yeah, it was really fun. That was really
Yeah.
fun. Yeah, so these costumes in Betty La Fea were just always over the top because my
Hmm.
character was over the top.
Okay,
Nobody
okay,
took her
okay.
seriously because she was just so crazy. She would come in and she would go to the tanning salon and she was completely over tanned. she would come in with feather boas in 90-degree weather.
Oh, okay,
She was
okay,
just,
okay.
she was really fun. She was a really fun character to play.
Yeah,
So when they this was back in we it came out in 2024. So it was in 2023 I get a call from RCN, the network,
okay.
and I'm like, okay, what's that all about? And I was like, I wonder why are they calling? Because, it had been so long. I mean, I had moved to Miami. I had then moved to Los Angeles where
Okay,
I was
okay.
doing voiceover work. So I was like, why are you calling me? And they said, well, we would like you to reprise your role. We're doing a series, a reboot 20 years later, and we would like you to reprise the role of Maria Beatriz. And I was like, oh, okay, in Colombia? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, sure, absolutely.
I'll go, right? Yeah,
And so this was on Thursday. This was a Thursday they called me, or
okay.
maybe, well, no, it was a Wednesday. It was a Wednesday that they called me. And so negotiate, and they said, okay, we have to negotiate and da 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 da. And by the way, you have to be on a plane on Sunday. I was like, oh, okay.
That's a quick turnaround.
Yeah, it's like, okay, get the babysitter for the cat and go.
You're
And
hired yeah, it's like you're hired. When you coming? When you
yeah,
coming, right?
exactly. It was like immediately. And so I flew down there and I was there for a week. And so it was the very first episode, and nobody's expecting her to come in. And she actually is the one who saves the day
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
because they were going to shut down the company. No, they weren't going to shut down the company. They were going to vote. The votes were divided as to um, who was going to run the company. And
Okay.
there was a problem with one of the characters. And so I he had almost run the company into the ground. And so I came out and I said, no, I think Betty, the lead, I
Uh-huh.
think she should be the head of the company. And so everybody thought I was crazy and I had turned all woo-woo and I was talking
Oh,
about stay and listening to the dead because the person who ran the company had recently died and that's why we were all there. And I said, well, he says that we should do this. And so they were like, what are you talking about? He's died. And he's like, no, he's still with us. He's
uh-huh.
still with us in spirit. And so people are crazy, but what my character said was that this is a woman who knows the company, and
Uh-huh.
I think that she should do it. So my vote won that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was
Mm-hmm.
only in one episode, but it was so much fun to do. It was such a treat to be with my cat, the old cast,
Oh, yes. After
and
that, yeah, right?
yeah, and
Yeah.
to reminisce. And it
Yeah.
was really lovely. And
Well, you were all like a family, right? I
yeah,
mean, you
exactly. We were back.
gelled, from years
We're back.
ago,
It was really
sure.
wonderful. But I think the most fun for me was that so they taped the show. We taped the show. They had actually, if I had said no, they were going to scrap that
Oh,
whole all
wow.
those scenes because I mean, flying me in and if I hadn't been available. Um, so they had already done a couple of other episodes. They were already on. They were further along in the
Uh-huh,
process.
uh-huh.
They were just redoing the first episode, parts of it,
Mm-hmm.
and adding scenes. And so they were done in December. Uh, they finished it, and then they were editing. And then I get a call, and I get a call from a dubbing studio, and they said, "We want you to record your voice, the in English of
Uh-huh.
the character that you did in Spanish." And I thought,
Okay.
oh, this is so cool. I get to record my own
I
voice.
get to come back. I get to come back.
Yes, yes.
Yes, yes.
So we recorded it out here. And if you watch it on Amazon, on Prime Video, in English, you'll hear my voice.
Okay, okay. So that's great. You were reincarnated and you came
Yes,
back in another form,
yeah,
in voice form, in voice
bilingually.
bilingually. Yes, yeah, yeah, yeah. So no, that's I was just going to say like your getup before with the character with the hair and the sleeves and everything. That must have taken a long time, like in makeup, even before you started your day, right? I mean, between have like you were saying, that wore off on your hand because it was only henna, and that must have been taken like forever, like in makeup, in the makeup
Well,
chair,
no,
right? Or
the henna was a few days before because
oh, okay, okay,
henna lasts. They
okay.
sent me to this place in Bogota, and the guy just basically took him like 2.5 hours, but
Oh, okay, okay,
that was
okay.
another day. No, makeup didn't take that long, and the outfit. But what was really nice was that the script writer, God may he rest in peace, Fernando Gaitan, he was very open
Hmm, hmm.
um, to ideas. So I would come in with ideas for him
Okay, okay,
about what, and a lot of the times it started with what she wore, but a lot of the times they were just silly plot inventions that I would say, what if she did this? What if she did
okay,
that?
okay,
And so they, the network was really generous in going with my wacky ideas.
okay,
And
okay.
so, and a lot of the times because the scripts were sometimes late, they were
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
last minute, we would have to improvise. So
Hmm,
we'd come up with stuff I would come up with stuff on the
okay,
spot.
okay.
And they were very open to that, which I'm
Right.
I'm very grateful for. Um,
Because that made it more entertaining, right? Because you were like more into it because you were actually uh doing your ideas sort of
it
like
was a
off the
group
cuff,
effort. It was
right?
a group effort.
Oh,
It was a
okay.
group effort. Yeah.
So you were all really playing and having fun doing it that way, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Because another show that I did where he was that he wrote the script for was the one that I told you about where she was a gringa, an American.
Yes,
And
yeah, yeah.
so I used to come up with stuff for her all the time, just for my stuff, not messing with the script, but things that she could do, that she could wear, that she could play.
Okay, okay.
Because that is the actor's job.
Oh,
You have the
yes.
lines, you're given the lines, but you need to come in with the whole body of the
Right,
script
right, right,
of
right.
your character.
Right.
So
Because
you can play.
yeah, because they can't tell you everything, right? It's like you're the actor, it's your job. Okay, here's the script. I'll give you directions, but it's like the rest is up to you, right?
Exactly.
Internally or however
Yeah.
comes out externally, you know.
Your imagination.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
that's
yeah,
a lot of
yeah, yeah.
yes. Yeah.
So, a role that you had sometime after that totally totally different not not flamboyant at all but really serious is when you had your role on NBC Law and Order and you played the role of Fran Volpe and so completely 180 degree different kind of performance there so um, what what was because I watched that clip of your episode, I mean, several times there. So, if you could tell us like what the episode was about, and what type of role was it that you played there? I know it was
So
totally different from the other one.
yes, no, absolutely. Um, so this character was precinct commander
Okay,
in her area in New York City.
okay,
And she is actually on a par. She's at the same level as Mariska Hargitay's character,
okay,
Benson.
okay.
So that's where the friction starts. It's a hostage situation, and one of Olivia Benson's colleagues is in a bodega and is being held hostage by someone with two other women.
Hmm, hmm.
Uh, He's a lawyer, and he just basically came in to he just came in to buy flowers for a colleague
Mhm.
it was her birthday, and he comes in on this situation, and they take them all hostage. And the name of the episode, I believe, is Cornered. It's called Cornered.
Okay.
Was
Okay.
the fall season finale of that year. Um, like it was not the cliffhanger because it all ends up, but it's like it was the last episode before the Christmas break.
Hmm.
And so Olivia Benson comes in, she basically explains it, but it's Fran Volpe's precinct. It's her area.
Okay.
Where
Okay.
the bodega is her command center.
Oh, so she kind of feels threatened that she wants to like take over her territory, right?
Well, yeah, because Olivia Benson it has a personal stake in it because it's her colleague.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
my character goes, no, no, this you're you're just a bystander here. We're going to take control of this. But
Hmm.
Olivia Benson, being Olivia Benson, gets in there, and
Yes.
they look at blueprints. They look at the of the bodega, and then they get a camera and they snake it in through the back. And yeah, so it was very tension filled. It was all outside. So it was 3 or 4 days of filming outside.
Okay.
Uh, it was cold.
Oh, I was going to ask you what the weather was like when
It
you
was,
were out there. Yeah.
it was in October,
That's
and it was
that's an
raining.
iffy time of year. Yeah, it could go either way. Unfortunately, it went the wrong way, right?
Yeah,
But
so
yeah.
I was very, very grateful because these were real New York police department jackets. I was very grateful for the jackets.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because it was that cold, and I was wearing tights underneath the pants, and
Uh-huh.
I mean, you have all these layers as a policeman. You're wearing all these layers. So they dressed us exactly the way you get dressed. Uh,
Okay.
and in fact, when we were on set, it said on the back it says NYPD, but when we would step aside, they would cover it because you're not allowed to be
Oh,
anywhere,
okay. Okay.
because that's a felony. You're impersonating a police officer.
Oh, okay. Okay. So
So
when you cross the set boundary, then you're no longer a policeman, right?
exactly.
Yeah,
So they were
okay.
very,
Okay.
very mindful of
Oh,
that.
wow. Yeah.
Yeah, they were. Yeah,
Oh,
they were.
rightly so, sure.
The costume people were very like, yep, and they had these little flaps, and they would cover it.
Oh, okay.
It
Okay.
was such a thrill. It was such a thrill to work on that show, to see what a procedural looks like and how they work, how fast they work, and how
Okay.
fast they work on their feet. Because you're dealing with an open New York City street with sirens and people screaming and yelling and
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
lights going, and these cameramen are absolutely amazing because they were always shooting with three cameras. And
Okay.
sometimes the three cameras were like literally right in your face because they were getting different characters and then they would edit
Yes.
them out.
Okay.
But they were so amazing.
Okay.
Maria
Okay.
was a dream to work with.
I was
She
just
was
going to ask you how it was to work with her. Yes.
it's so I mean, she was very like, because she's the executive producer, one of the executive producers. So obviously, time is money for all of
Oh,
these
yes.
people.
Oh, definitely.
So
Yeah.
she was
Yeah.
very like, okay, what's going next? What's next? But she was so supportive of us because we were thrown into that. The characters inside the bodega that we don't see until the very end,
Uh-huh.
they had a table read, but we were on the street. There were three of us, three of our little group.
Okay.
We were just there a rehearsal for the cameras and go. And so she was so supportive every step of the way. And she would be like, okay, do this. Not directing, but just like saying, we know it's hard because you've been thrown to the wolves and
Yeah.
we've been doing this for 26 years and you don't, you just got here. So she was very like there as a supportive, but also
Okay.
got to get
Okay.
this done. I loved working with her. And it was so wonderful to just be working with someone face to face because I basically had to call her out. I had to,
Oh, right.
yeah, I
Okay.
basically,
Your character. Yes.
my
Yeah.
character gave her a piece of her mind and
That
said, "You
was a,
go."
I know I watched that clip, like I says, more than once, and that was a strong scene. I mean,
And it
you got
was,
right up into her face there. It's like,
yeah. And
wow.
so we had to do that scene, probably that little part we had to do at least 10 times. And each time I had to do it exactly the same way
Okay.
because for camera, so
Yes,
I couldn't
yes,
beat or
yeah.
anything like that. And so it was just so wonderful to have uh, my scene partner be so connected to me because so I never wavered because she never wavered. And it was just, oh my gosh, it was such an incredible experience.
That's a good back and forth that way. When you can
Yes.
work with somebody like that, oh yeah.
So that was a real treat.
Yeah, yeah.
That was a wonderful, that was a
Yeah,
wonderful.
I was just going to ask you about that. Like when you first started talking about the scene, you said they had three cameras. So I was going to ask you, since you had three cameras, like usually, maybe if you have one camera, you have to say your line stop, and then they'll move the camera for like a different angle. So I was going to ask you, did you only have to do it once because you had like three cameras catching it at the same time, like from different angles? But like you said, you had to do it 10 times.
Well, no, because each camera is for a different part of the scene. So what they'll do is that you'll do the same scene, let's say 5 times or 10 times,
Hmm.
but they'll do it with the cameras placed differently.
Oh, okay, okay. Gotcha.
So one camera will be on Mariska, the other camera will be on the other characters in the scene, and then
Hmm.
they'll be able to have plenty to choose from in editing.
Okay.
That's my guess.
Okay.
That's my
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know because I was going to say like if they had like one camera and it was like focused on you, but it was sort of like out of focus, like in back of her, so they could focus on you. So they sort of did that with the three cameras, right? Like all was moving, something like that.
I don't know how they did it because that I'm not
Okay.
with. I just know that they did it really well.
Okay. And it came out really well. It's
Yeah.
like I says Pilar, I mean, she's really giving her a piece of her mind. It's like she ain't holding back, It's like that.
Captain Benson, you're the one who called it in? Yes, an AVA friend of mine, Dominic Carisi, is the one inside. Any idea who else is inside? No, I don't. So we need to open a line of communication. DeLeona gave me the cell number of the clerk. Some guy named Ali Imran, but he's not picking up.
Maybe we talk to Reese instead.
Well, I don't think that they know that he's an ADA, so if we call, then they're going to wonder where we got the phone number. ASU's got a Stingray in the back of that vehicle.
Yeah, it'll rip texts, photos, contacts, right up the phones of everyone inside.
Did the owner of the deli mention whether or not they had a landline? It's on the deli's website.
Sergeant Rollins, take a walk. Amanda, come on. This is not about insubordination. Her husband is in there.
Do you think that's an asset or a liability?
I'm not answering that right now. Look, Mike's one of our top negotiators, regardless of rank. It's the reason he's here. He's called me, not mine, not yours. Sure as hell not the wife of a hostage who has no business being down here in the first place.
But no, it was nice to see that different role, a serious role, a conservative role from Betty LaFay, and then you also did another role. Um, this I was reading about you were involved in the Madam Ram podcast,
Oh yeah.
and you play the role of Phyllis in episode 2, and what intrigued me, it says, and the role of Raquel Welch in episode 4, and I just wanted you to talk about what it's like playing like two totally different characters in two different episodes. I mean that must have been fun. I mean, playing two different characters like in the same story.
Well, this is what an actor does. So when you're talking about voiceover,
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
uh, voiceover is a different animal because you really have to present the world in your
Hmm.
voice
Hmm. Hmm.
and in your attitude. So Phyllis was a busybody, and um, she was just you have to listen to, it's actually a really good podcast. It's a story, it's a dramatization of a true story, and pretty much everything happened,
Uh-huh.
uh, but it's dramatized. So
Okay.
but it's really interesting. It's about a woman who became the manager, the owner of a football team. And so Phyllis is the friend of the first wife of this woman who becomes the husband, excuse me, becomes the wife of the owner.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
so they're not very, because she's the second wife, obviously, or I don't know if she was dating him at the time or if she was married when that scene happens.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so my character is really snippy. Uh, but that does happen a lot with podcasts because you're not seeing the visual.
Yes,
Go
right.
ahead and
Yeah.
you can improvise something. And for the audition, I basically just looked up. I wanted to know which era they wanted because
Okay. Okay.
Raquel Welch's voice changed. So she was very much like this. She was always like that later thing, and there was
Okay.
a little bit of an accent there.
Okay.
And she was very much like this up here
Oh, yeah.
earlier
Okay.
years. So they said, well, let's do the lower one. And so it was only one line, but it was just so much fun to play Raquel
Oh,
Welch.
right, right,
So when
right.
you get to play her, um, the
Right.
really interesting thing about
No, I
that,
know it. Yeah.
yeah, the really interesting thing about that podcast is that at the at the end they had a bonus episode. So if you subscribe to that, if you watch that podcast,
Okay.
it's on all like Spotify and Apple.
Oh, okay, okay. Was the bonus episode the Raquel Welch one
No,
with it? No?
bonus
Okay.
episode was a reporter.
Oh, okay, okay.
And though the Raquel Welch, they were very small scenes.
Oh, okay,
But the and Phyllis, but the bonus episode, and I cannot remember her name. She was an agent.
uh-huh.
What is her name? She's this loud talking woman from New York with an accent, and she would
Okay.
be like, she like knows everything that's going on,
Okay.
knows
Yes.
all the stars, and she
Yeah.
interviews all. So she's got a radio show,
Okay,
and all
okay.
these callers come in, and she wants to know what the scoop is with this lady who is the team, and she talks to her. She talks about her throughout the episode. So basically, the episode is this character. It's all about this character,
Okay, okay.
and she talks throughout the episode, and she was so much fun to play because she was talking to different people who came on the radio show to talk about this lady who had been the
Uh-huh.
owner of the brand.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
It's a really fun episode. That was
Uh-huh.
that was like the most fun to do because I mean, I was basically talking the entire time.
Right, right, right.
It's a
Well,
really
that's the best kind, right? Where you've got a lot of talking, right? I mean,
yeah.
that's where like you can experiment and try to say things different ways and like have at it and have fun with it. And um, another voiceover gig that you had, and I mean it's still continuing. Um, is the Cookie Run Kingdom. That really got my attention. And I seen you post all about the Cookie Run Kingdom and the cookie cheese or the golden cheese cookie character and everything. So and you also had like a signing. I saw that post about the Cookie Run. So just tell us a little bit about what that is all about and what attracted your interest in playing golden cheese cookie character.
Well, here's the thing about an actor. You don't you don't necessarily choose your parts. I mean, if
Hmm.
if you're if you're I mean, if you're Brad Pitt, you do.
Oh yeah, right.
Meryl
Yeah.
Streep, you do. But if you're an actor, you're auditioning.
Yeah, yeah.
You have no idea what you're auditioning for because you get a script, and 99% of the time, the script is different. The characters are changed, the names are changed. So
Hmm.
you don't really know what you're doing. And everything is always hush hush, and you always sign an NDA for your auditions.
Hmm.
So I got this audition, and it was to play this a cookie. And I don't know, I don't even know if I knew it was to play a cookie. It was a character. It was a character.
Okay.
I did not know it was a cookie. And so it was she was very flamboyant. That's what I knew, that she was very flamboyant,
Okay. Okay.
very, imperious. She was like a queen. And so I don't know why, but I decided to give her an English accent.
Oh, wow.
So I just thought, well, if she's very imperious, let me give her a British
Okay.
accent.
That's interesting. Yeah.
I started talking like this and very, very imperious. And how dare you talk to me like
I believe you.
that? And I got the part.
Yeah, right?
The part was this golden cheese cookie who flies. She flies everywhere. She's a fly.
Okay. Oh, cool.
She my cat agrees with me. She uh
We'll get to you in a minute, Paco.
oh
We'll
my
get to a
gosh,
minute.
there he goes. Um, she's very she talks she she's not very nice to her. She calls them subjects, and I'm going to ruin you and I'm going to end
Oh,
you.
really?
Then
Wow.
further on in the game, she fights for them. And she says, we're going to fight all together. So she's very greedy. She's a very greedy cookie. And she always talks about greed and gold and everything. And you'd think she was Michael Douglas from that movie Wall Street. But she ends up being having redeeming qualities, and she saves her kingdom more than once.
Okay, okay.
And so yeah, she is just a hoot and a holler to play. It is amazing to see the fans. They really get into it. I mean,
I know it. I know people really get into animation,
yeah,
it's popular.
and
Yeah,
video games, and this video
right?
game just continues, and then more cookies are added, and then she fights with Burning Spice Cookie, and
Oh
then
my God.
then Burning Spice Cookie threatens to ruin her, and then he disappears, but then he comes back again. I mean, it just
Wow. I
never
didn't
ending opportunities for fun.
I didn't realize there was so much social conflict in such an innocent looking animated story. I mean, just looking at it, it's like, oh, it's sort of like Bugs Bunny and Porky Pig and this and that, but never would have imagined that you got all this conflict and tension between or among animated characters like or cartoon characters like that. But
It's huge.
yeah. But I
It's
do have to say one thing. I saw that the post that you posted, a video post, where you received in the mail your golden cheese cookie, and I saw you hugging it in the car there, and it's like, oh man, it's like it doesn't get any better than that. I mean, you must really like your character.
Well, she's really cute, and the way they let me just put this down here for a
Okay,
moment.
okay.
The way they have made her, it's really well done. I have
Uh-huh.
it right here. I mean, she's a
Okay, that's what I'm waiting for.
look at that. I mean, it's really well done. It's so beautiful. And then she's got this little sort of tail right here. She's gorgeous, and she's got wings. I mean, it's so creative the way they did her
Oh
up.
my God.
Yeah, she's really cute.
Thank you for bringing that on screen. I didn't think of that, but I'm glad that you had Miss Golden Cheese Cookie by you, so you could bring her on screen there. So that makes my day right there. Seeing that makes my day seeing Golden Cheese Cookie live or as close to live.
Five, five.
Live.
Yeah.
Well, another thing that I've been looking forward to is your friend Paco that's been
Oh,
trying to get in frame here wherever she is or wherever she
yeah.
wanna.
He,
I'm sorry.
Paco,
I'm
Paco. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Paco is short for Francisco
Okay,
in
okay.
Spanish. And venga, 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 chiquito. There he is.
Okay, okay.
So
Oh,
I rescued him. Um, Oh, you're just so ridiculous. I rescued him in Mexico because I
Oh,
was
really?
yeah, I
Oh
was
my
visiting a
gosh.
cousin of mine, and she dealt with rescues, and I walked in, and 5 minutes later, he just jumped up on my on my shoulder, and somebody said, "Oh, he claimed you," and I was like, "Oh,
Oh.
not realize that." And I thought, "Oh, that's just forget it. I mean, I can't. Ow, ow, ow."
Uh-huh.
Um, I can't take a cat home with me. I already had a dog. I had a Shih Tzu at home.
Oh, yeah.
And so somehow I just fell into that. And um, when I came, I brought the cat. I brought the cat with his papers from Mexico, from Isla Mujeres, and
Okay.
uh,
Okay.
he was. We had a little bit of an accident on the plane, but he got home safely and to Miami. And at
Okay.
first they did not take to each other, the cat and the dog. And then
Oh,
they were they never really they weren't really like those little cuddle things that you see on TikTok or
okay. Yeah.
but they one time my mother had brought these little fig cookies from New York for me and I left them on the kitchen counter
Okay.
because I knew that Chiquita couldn't get to them and Paco wasn't going to eat them.
Okay. Okay.
And then a couple days later I forgot about it and I found the wrapper on the floor and I thought, okay, this is how did that? And then I realized Paco pushed it, got onto the kitchen table, onto
Uh-huh.
the counter, which is really high, but of course
Uh-huh.
they
No problem for a cat. Yeah.
no problem for a cat. Got
Yeah.
onto the counter, pushed it over, and then my dog ate 3 bars of fig, 3 fig bars, which I he didn't she didn't throw up, which I'm amazed
Oh,
at.
yeah. Well, especially chocolate, right? With dogs, I
No, no,
guess.
they were no, they were fig
Oh,
bars.
figs,
They
figs.
were not
Okay.
chocolate.
Okay.
That would have been bad.
That would have, yeah.
That would have been bad. But then I realized, okay, they're friends now because now they're working with each other.
Okay. Okay.
So they yeah, they would lie down, close, not close to each other, but one would lie on top of the sofa, the other one would lie right below.
Okay. Okay.
And yeah, they were fast friends until my Chiquita passed.
Oh, okay. Okay. That reminds me, talking about your cat there, that reminds me, a cousin of mine once had a cat. Well, she and her husband had a lot of cats. They've always had cats, in their house. So this one particular cat that they had did not take a liking to her husband. For some reason or other, it's like her husband would be, say, sitting at the kitchen table having supper, and then the cat would just walk by him and just do like one of these. So it's like my cousin's husband, one day he says, well, that's enough. So one time when the cat passed by him when he was sitting at the supper table, he said, listen, he says, we're both living in the same house. This is my house. We're going to get along. Point blank like that. And somehow or other, I think the cat knew what he was talking about. So after that, there wasn't so much tension, but they were on sort of like friendly terms. But he set the law. He says, listen, we're both in the same house, but this is my house. So it's a good thing that the cat kind of bent that way, because cats have a way of claiming that as their house, right? Their house, their rules, something like
Oh yeah, they do. Well, you know what I think? That's a great story. I think that
that.
just him acknowledging the cat was enough
Oh, okay,
for the
okay.
cat. That's what the cat was waiting for him to acknowledge him. And
Okay.
then the cat opened up. Because
Okay.
cats are always, they always, it's just interesting because people think that cats are so aloof. Cats are always so in tune with their owner or the person's body language. They know
Okay.
exactly when there's a cat lover in the house. He knows when there's somebody, and he's a little skittish, because I think he's partly feral because he was abandoned as
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay,
And he's gotten a lot more, like you
okay,
saw before, he's gotten a lot more cuddly, but he's not, I mean, he's much more affectionate than he was.
okay.
But
But
when people come into the house,
okay, okay.
smell them, and they are so finely tuned
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
to knowing that person, what that person thinks of them. They just know it because their senses are so much more sophisticated than ours.
Yes,
So
yes.
they know when somebody doesn't like them.
Right, right, right.
I'm convinced of that. Even cats and dogs are very intelligent. They always say the
They
cat is
are.
intelligent. It's like, no, they are working on something that's much deeper. They're working on
Oh,
senses.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, that reminds me, years ago when I was growing up, of course, it's common for kids, oh, can I get a pet? Can I get a cat? Can I get a dog? And, the parents say, well, I'm going to end up taking care of it. And even though you say, oh, I'll feed it and, I'll do it so we brought the dog home, and it happened to be a dog from a animal shelter, a humane society. She was 3 months old, and she was part lab and part German Shepherd. She looked like a little short German Shepherd. And so my father, God rest his soul, at that time, uh, he wasn't really enthused about getting a dog, more so my mother, but so the first night that we brought the dog home, we bedded it down and everything. And it took a long time for my dog to warm up to my father because my dog could sense like that tension or maybe animosity that he really didn't agree to have the dog. But then after a while, it's like they were best buds. You couldn't tear them apart. It was just like that.
They
uh,
had to get used to each other.
yeah, getting to know each other there. So the whole reason that I ask about Paco there is because um, I see that you do like a lot of traveling. I've seen you travel well to New York, like when you did SVU there, posts about being in Madrid and Paris and things like that. So, do you ever take Paco on your trips, or
No.
and then the most important part, has Paco accepted the presence of golden cheese cookie in your home yet? Has he approved?
So, no, Paco doesn't travel with me. I know there are people who travel with their cats. He doesn't
Uh-huh,
travel.
uh-huh.
He's only been on one flight, which was the flight from Mexico to Miami.
Okay, okay,
Uh, I mean, if I was going to stay an extended period of time, I would. But cats they don't like flying. Dogs are much easier to go with.
okay,
I
okay.
used to take my dog up to New York all the time to visit my mom.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Cats, they like their environment. They don't like being they like the sameness of what they do.
Okay,
They don't
okay,
like being taken out of their environment. So, I mean, I might one day if I were ever to, if I have to move, I would take him. Of course, I brought him. He drove. We drove from Miami to Los Angeles, um, in the car. Uh,
wow,
and a friend of mine drove with us, and so he was, that was an experience. But he got used to it. He would meow for a little bit, but he got used to it.
okay,
No, he's not a good traveler. And
okay.
I'm sorry, what was your other question?
Oh, I was just going to say, has he gotten used to golden cheese
Oh, golden
cookie?
cheese cookie.
Yeah, has he accepted Joe golden cheese cookie yet?
Yeah,
Okay,
there's a chair that where the sun comes in. You can see, and it hits
okay.
the light. But I put golden cheese cookie, and he doesn't sit there anymore. So he tolerates golden cheese cookie.
I was just going to say, probably that's more like it that he tolerates him. Yeah,
Yeah, he doesn't accept him.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, Pilar, it's really been a pleasure having you on my show today, and I really look forward to talking with you and my audience hearing everything about you, your life and everything. And this is so weird because usually I meet my guests virtually first, and then maybe sometime after that in person, but well, we knew each other virtually first, but that was sort of like a work environment, so we were sort of
Right,
like part of the whole Zoom screen. But
right.
no, it's strange this way of seeing you and now seeing you in this flat world here. But it's really been a pleasure having you on my show today, and thank you very much for graciously accepting the invitation to be on my show. And it's just been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you for having me, Ed. This was really fun.
And yes, no, I knew this was going to be fun because all my guests always have fun on my show, and I have fun meeting and talking to all of my guests. So yeah, once again, thank you for being on my show today, and everyone out there in Zoom land. We've been spending a little time with Pilar Uribe, and she's a bilingual on-camera actor, voiceover actor and voiceover actor for animation and a whole bunch of other things. So thank you all for joining us today, taking a little time out of your busy schedule. So until next time, you never know who I'm going to have next. I don't even know who I'm going to have next, but it'll be a surprise, for both of us. So until then, have a good day, and we'll we'll see you next time. So long.
Bye.